Ah, no, Rosemary.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Whatever time zone you happen to be in, welcome to Leaders Worldwide Online Toastmasters Club. Our club mission, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leaders Worldwide is designed for politicians, business leaders, nonprofit leaders, entrepreneurs, as well as anyone who wants to make their message heartfelt and authentic. Core values, integrity, respect, service, and excellence. We are Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters, where leaders are made. And welcome, everybody. Let's welcome our president, Rosemary Sweeney, to the podium.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alex. And I welcome everyone here at our meeting, whatever time of day it is for you. To me, it is dark of night. To you, it is early evening. And that's the beauty about Zoom. We can meet anytime, any day, from anywhere. And I noticed that we have a few guests, so I will call on our guests to introduce themselves and tell us something about them. Yeah. Reset up. We have gallery. Here we have Kata. And if I did not pronounce your name properly, kindly correct me so that next time I have it right. Kata, are you there? We step away, Marutesh.
Kader Hussain.
Kader.
Kader Hussain, yes.
Kader. Please just tell us something about you, Kader.
Where are you from?
Kader, where are you joining us from?
I'm from Pakistan.
Okay. And are you a Toastmaster?
No, I'm guest speaker.
Okay, you're a guest. Okay, so now we are going to call on Judith. It's a marriage issue. Oh, it's a fit.
Climbing. That's what I do.
You're lime on Zoom. Okay, that's good.
Greetings from Santa Monica, California.
Okay. And Morocco, is that where you're from or your surname?
Yes, I am from Morocco.
Okay, you're from Morocco, and can you tell us something about you?
Okay, my name is Abdelatif, and I'm from Morocco. Actually, I'm working as an English teacher now.
And are you a Toastmaster?
No, I'm just a guest.
Okay, so we have two guests, one on Toastmasters. And Marutesh, did he drop out? He's not, apparently not close to his mic. Okay, we have a lady who just came in. Can you pronounce your name for me, please? Yes, you just came. Wang.
How do you say your first name again?
Wang, how do you pronounce your first name?
Dr.
Yes.
Wang. Yeah.
Thank you. Please call me Hương. Hello, everyone.
Hello, can you tell us a little about you?
Oh, thank you for asking. My name is Hương. I'm from Vietnam, and I'm joining here with the invitation from Cynthia. Thank you.
Okay, so Huang from Vietnam. Welcome, welcome, and do come again. And at this time, I will turn over the virtual lectern to our Toastmaster of the evening. Let us make her feel welcome.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're coming from or joining us from. I'm so excited tonight. We have a special guest, and thank you so much for allowing me the time to come in to do my part. You know, when you need technology, it decides to do its thing. But thank God I'm here. So tonight, we have a special guest, and I won't get into that yet. But our theme for tonight is pursuing excellence until it is achieved. When I first came to Buffalo, the church I attended, the first time I attended the church, I saw this sign over the door, pursue excellence until it's achieved. And when I saw that, because I came here for school, and when I saw that, I was like, I'm in the right place. And so when I saw our special guests, when I read his bio, I was like, my God, pursuing excellence until it's achieved. This is someone who pursues excellence until it's achieved. And so that's the theme that came to me. And I think, it's appropriate for this evening. Anyhow, I'm going to take the time to introduce our role players tonight. Sorry, my team. So we have our illustrious grammarian, that is none other than, please forgive me, I'm just seeing the agenda, and that's none other than
Sally Reyes.
Is that Sally? Sally Reyes, yes. Right. And so we have so we have Sally, and we also have our timer, who is Judith Ferber. So Sally, I'm going to turn it over to you to give us the word of the day and so forth.
Thank you so much. I'm excited about our day because the theme is wonderful, and the word to achieve that is through persistence. That is no faltering. Just keep those goals in mind and move forward with confidence, and success will happen.
That's right.
So thank you. I will be looking out for your special words of the day and keep track of all kinds of interesting thoughts. And I appreciate being here today. Thanks so much.
And so we'll be persisting through this meeting tonight. And our next role player is Judith Ferber. And so I'll turn it over to Judith for her to give us the timing of our special guests tonight.
Well, I'm going to give you the timing of everybody's.
Okay, all right, no problem. Okay.
So I'm going to time the speaker number one, who is Alex, and his timing is going to be, let me go to my...
Oh, I didn't realize that we had another speaker.
Okay, yeah, there's more than one speaker. So anyway, so Alex, this is your 13 minutes. Then we'll have 14 minutes, and then we'll have 15 minutes, and then you have 30 seconds to finish your speech. Then we have another speaker, Rosemary, 5 to 7. This is 5, 6, and 7. You have 30 seconds to complete your speech. Then we have Dr. Lau. I actually know him quite well. He's not here. So when he's here, then I will tell him the colors of his pen. He gets here, then we'll tell him to speak. Anyway, evaluation is 2 minutes, 2.5, and 3 minutes. And that is the 30 seconds to complete your speech. And that is the timing I am going to do. Thank you.
So we
You're
also
muted.
have, yes, I just realized. Okay. So we also have our general, please forgive me, I'm using my phone, and our general evaluator will conclude this section. And our general evaluator is none other than our dear Cynthia Stott. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. All right, so I'm going to introduce our first speaker. And so I'm going to call our evaluator for the first speaker. That's none other than Miss Sweeney, Rosemary Sweeney.
Okay, this evening, Toastmaster Alex will be presenting. His presentation will be made, and he will have some disruptors, and the purpose for the project is for him to practice the skills needed to address an audience challenges when he is presenting outside of Toastmasters. So here it will be a make-believe challenges, but he has to practice it in a way so that when he goes out there and he has it, it will be a run in the park where he, oh, I'm used to that already. This is what he's going to be presenting. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster, the meeting. You have not on mute.
Yes. And so Alex, let me just read your speech details. Thank you all so much for your patience. All right. So Alex's speech, the title of his speech is What to Do If You Think You Need to Call 911. Interesting. Alex is the owner and lead trainer at Care First Training Group, LLC. Alex is deeply passionate about providing others with life-saving information. With over 30 years of experience in the fields of first aid, CPR, and AED certification, and training thousands of students, Alex possesses a strong understanding of his customers' needs and how they most effectively learn these life-saving techniques. In addition, he has been podcasting for many years on TV shows, as well as with his 9-year-old daughter doing book reviews. Alex Sweeney, what to do if you think you need to call 911? What to do if you think you need to call 911? Sorry, Alex Baelish. Alex Baelish.
All right. So again, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Toastmasters. Today, I want to talk about a topic that we've all seen before, which is think about the ones that you love. Think about what you would do if you need to call 911. And whether you're in America or you're in a different country, it might be another number. These are the type of skills that we're going to teach you today. And the first thing that we need to talk about when we talk about calling 911 is getting through that barrier of, oh my gosh, there's actually a problem. And there's 3 types of people when there's an emergency. First, there's the people that get in there and do it. Second is the people that run away. They don't know what to do. They usually call 911. And then you have the third person, which freezes. And those are the people that we really need to get to do something. Because the people that do something are better than people that don't do anything. And when we call 911, we want to give a specific set of information. That's right. You need to practice calling 911, but it's nothing that you can practice by just picking up your cell phone. What do I mean? The first thing that we want to do before we do anything, before we call 911, is we want to make sure that scene is safe. Now, what would make the scene unsafe or not, or very difficult to do our job? They could be slumped in a bathroom. They could be slumped in a chair at a Zoom room, like you are right now. They could be in a tight space. They could be in a car. How many of you drove to work or drove home and don't remember actually driving? If you're not nodding your head, you're probably kidding yourself, because we're all thinking about everything else. And this is one of the few things you need to be in the moment. And you have to be pretty much perfect. That said, you want to make sure that person is conscious. And how do we do that? We can talk to them, or we can just tap them on the shoulder like this. Are you okay? Are you okay? And if they don't respond, we yell, help. That being said, after 10 seconds, if no...
Cassandra, are you going to start?
I'm still going here. Cassandra is going to be right there. I promise you. That said, after that, you want to open up their airway if they're unconscious by putting one hand on the forehead, the other hand at the chin.
So are you saying, excuse me, are you saying that you should be doing all this stuff before you call 911?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Michelle. And the reason being is you want to have the best information. Because when you call 911, you want to tell them your name, the location.
And then what am I going to do after I give them my name?
I will tell you everything you need to know. Just give me 1 second. You want to tell them your name, the location, how many people are involved, and what you're doing. Now, we all have a cell phone, or most of us have a cell phone, correct? And I'm assuming when we have that cell phone, it's got speaker mode. And you can actually talk to that person. And again, after we open that airway, we're going to try to see if they're breathing.
Do you know sometimes that when you call 911, you get the police? You might not
right.
want to get police. You might want to get the first aid instead of the police.
You're absolutely right. And a lot of the times when we're dealing with all this, when we're checking their chest, when you call 911, it goes to a central station. And that person is actually trained. And what they're called is an EMTD, an emergency medical dispatcher. And they're actually trained to walk you through it. So when you call that police person,
I can talk to you right now. Somebody is just speaking in the middle of this.
I understand. You could just mute yourself.
So I will call you back later.
There we go.
Are you sure?
I'm sorry?
Are you sure that happens that way?
Actually, I do. And the reason I am sure is I'm an actual EMT, an emergency medical professional. And I actually do this as a volunteer in my local town. So I do have over 30 years of experience. So I've done this before. And I've unfortunately had to call 911 myself to walk me through this. So like I said, you're going to open that airway and you're going to see if they're actually breathing. And the main thing is you want to try to stay as calm as you can, because I know being calm is going to be a hard thing to do in this emergency situation. Now,
so what do you do? So what do you do if you have somebody who is dying and then they suddenly get out of bed and they walk outside and then they collapse on the front porch and they're too heavy for you to pick up, and you call the police and then they want to put them in an insane asylum? What are you going to do then?
Well, I don't know if they're going to put them in an insane asylum just yet. But what they could do is they could evaluate the patient and bring them to the hospital. Because if they've walked outside, we want to make sure that they're safe and they want to get an evaluation.
But if they're dying, don't they want to just get back into bed? I mean, that's crazy to take them to a separate hospital.
Well,
that
if
would
they're
be
dying,
insane.
unless they really want to die in bed, which I understand some people do want to do that, they should get evaluated at the hospital. And that's why you call 911, is to get
Even
help.
if they're on hospice, even if they're already,
Now, if they do have a DNR, a do not resuscitate order, that might be a different situation. And you really need to consult the doctor that wrote that. And that's a great question that you have. And that's something that a medical professional can really help you with, like their doctor, or because you have to remember that do not resuscitate order could be, if they're in hospice, could be, it's a prescription. So we need to see those physical papers when we do this. So
People
there's
call 911 even the neighbor is screaming at them.
absolutely, anyone can call 911. But the key and the things that I really want you to take home with is when you call 911, if you call 911, you want to tell them your name, the location, how many people are involved, and what you're doing. And
but I
if
also think you need to really specify if you want an EMT or you want a policeman, because, you know, policemen, sometimes they're young, they're rookies, and they don't know what the heck they're doing. And you want to have somebody who helps you. If it's a medical emergency, you want somebody who understands the medical situation.
You're absolutely right. But the way the system works is usually a policeman will come first to assess, because 99% of the time, all policemen go to the scene of a medical emergency because they're not sure exactly what it is. And then they will be accompanied by EMTs and paramedics and whoever else needs to come. And the reason being is for the EMT safety. So although you may not want a police officer, they are trained in some basic first aid, and they can actually help assist, and they can get the process moving. Because at the end of the day, what is the goal? The goal is to get the person as safe as possible. And if they're
But what I hear you saying is that you are in a position to tell the police officer, I'm in charge right here, so I just need you to assist me if necessary, but you still have your job to do.
That's one way of putting it. Yes, that is one way of putting it. But like I said, you must stay calm. You try to paint the picture to the person. And the reason you want to paint the picture to that person on the other side on the phone is because they can get whatever resources you need. So if they just fell out of bed, that's one thing. But if they fell out of bed and they hurt themselves even more, there might be other things that need to happen. They could be stuck in a bathtub. They could be stuck somewhere where they need other equipment.
What is your credentials, Alex, that you know all about this?
I've been an EMT, an emergency medical technician, for over 30 years. And I've actually ridden on an ambulance for that time. I've been a crew chief, so I've been a leader in the first aid squad. And I've done this as a career for most of my life. So I've actually been on calls, and I've actually been on the other end, where I've been on the receiving end of calls where it seems like I've had to have family members. I've even called 911 on myself for one thing. I had to. But at the end of the day, the way the system works, there's no system that's perfect. But what the system tries to do, the 911 system tries to do, is to empower the person on the other line to give them the information that they need. So for instance, if English is a second language to you, and there's some areas that there might be Spanish-speaking people, they try to have a Spanish-speaking dispatchers. I'm not saying that happens all the time, because it doesn't. But in a lot of cases where I live in New Jersey, it has some of the largest Indian population in the world next to India. So they have dispatchers that actually speak some of the Indian languages because of that.
Does it ever happen that 911 just they don't answer?
It's very rare. I can't say for certain nothing ever happens, but there's times where 911 has been down when you've had a national disaster and there's no phone lines.
So who do you call if 911 doesn't answer?
Well, one of the things that you can always do is you can call the local police number, or there's always two numbers. If you ever look you can call the police direct as well as calling 911. Okay, so these are some options. When we first started the 911 system, before we had a 911 system, they actually used to just call the regular police department, and from there, everything was dispatched. So there are some fail safes. I'm not going to say nothing. Everything is perfect. There is no perfect system, and it's been proven time and time again. But we do have a lot of those fail safes. So 9 times out of 10, it should work, and it will work. But the thing is, you must try to trust in the system. Now, how many of you actually have a hardwired phone in your house? Most people don't. Now, one of the advantages to having that hardwired phone is if the power goes out, you can still pick it up and dial 911. I know it's one of those weird things. And that used to be a very important thing to a lot of people, but now most people have cell phones. And they've gotten rid of that line in the wall. So that's an advantage to having a
Well,
hardwire.
except that now telephones are all through computer. All the telephones, even AT&T.
Not all of them, but most of them are.
In
So
California, they're trying to get rid of the landline too.
And I
So
understand.
if the internet goes out, you still don't have a phone.
And I understand, and that is a big concern. I mean, you know, these are things. There is no perfect system, and that's why I say if you did have that landline, which maybe less than 5% of the people do in the country, where it used to be 100%, it's kind of flip-flopped because of cell phones. That is a true problem. That said, you do the best you can, and especially since a lot of you, and this is a California-based club, emergencies are always on the forefront, whether it's an earthquake or whether it's some kind of disaster. These are the type of things. That's why you need to have your fail safes and have the people that you can call. Okay. Also, one of the other things that you may want to think
Would
about.
it ever make sense to just reach out to your neighbor instead of to the police?
And you just took the words right out of my mouth. You know, I was going to say you need to partner up with your friends and family. One of the things that my mom used to do is call my grandmother every Saturday, and keep, you know, when disaster hits, or not even when disaster hits, check on your neighbors. So these are a couple of things that you can do, which is when you call 911, you want to tell them your name, the location, how many people are involved, and what you're doing. Have a plan, have it all written down. So if you're alone and somebody does come into your house, at least you have something written down, and, you know, have things in place. So I want to thank you all for listening and being so attentive. I know you had some great questions, especially from the lady to my right, probably your left. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex. Great speech.
All right, let me get myself unspotlighted.
Thank you, Alex. Wonderful, wonderful speech, and you did really well with, you know, the questions and the interruptions. And I think this was really good because it was almost like you're actually presenting to a group of people who really don't know. So thank you so much for that.
I think we have 1 minute for people to make comments for him after the speech.
Okay. Ms. Timer, could you put 1 minute?
My time 1 minute, yes.
Could you put a minute on the clock so Alex could get some feedback? Let me go to my agenda.
It's time.
Okay, thank you. All right. So now I will have our evaluator number 2, that Dr. Michelle Petticolas. Dr. Michelle will introduce our speaker number 2, and I'm turning it over to her now.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Rosemary Sweeney is our second speaker, and her speech is, the project is for the member to practice developing a change management plan. And during the completion of this project, that she developed a change management plan about any real or hypothetical change in her past or a current change that affects a group that he or she is part of, including Toastmasters Club. And she is going to give specific information about the plan. And the speech may be any type, humorous, should not be a report. So what I'm going to be looking at is her, the structure of her speech and the delivery and how well she expresses the way in which she handled the change. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster, to introduce her. Is that right, or should I introduce her?
Okay, so President Sweeney, Rosemary Sweeney, will be, her speech title is How I Found the 9 in 99. Very interesting.
Maybe it's just coming at 6:30.
And so Rosemary Sweeney, DTM, is the president of Leaders Worldwide. She has taken numerous district leadership roles, including division director. She's a former banker and now supports individuals with their money matters and financial success. She loves hiking on her beautiful island of Dominica in the Caribbean. Rosemary Sweeney, How I Found the 9 in 99. How I Found the 9 in 99, Rosemary Sweeney.
Okay, before I start, we have a little conflict. My presentation is from Motivational Strategies, Team Building, and it is my second speech.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, okay.
So Michelle wasn't given the correct evaluation form, but what she said, I could also be evaluated on that because
okay, so Michelle,
I know the evaluation will be good, but let us go.
Okay.
I just wanted to see.
Well, let me just repeat that. So Michelle, she will be actually doing, her pathway is motivational strategies, level 5, team building, number 2.
Is that correct, Rosemary? Are you doing team building, or are you doing your second speech in team building?
Well, that's why she said number 2.
Yeah.
There's the 5 to 7 and there's the 2 to 3. But what you also mentioned you're going to look out for, that is okay for me. That's good for me.
Good.
Thank you. Okay. 99 years ago, a young man named Ralph Smedley started an organization named Toastmasters International because he found that there were some young men who needed to communicate better. And up until now, we enjoy this organization. When it started, it was for men, but right now it's for everyone, and we are enjoying it. And the reason is to help us practice our public speaking and leadership skills. But we get so much more with this organization that we are here getting and receiving and giving, and this is what we did. Now, last year, 2023, Toastmasters International celebrated 99 years of existence. And District 81, that's a district my home club is in, threw out a challenge for us to celebrate the 9 in 99. Now you're going to ask, what does that mean? We could, one, have a speechathon with 9 speakers, prepared speeches, or table topics with 9 speakers, again, prepared speeches, or have an evaluation session with 9 evaluators. And for my club, I mentioned to my Vice President Education that I would be taking on that challenge to organize this meeting. In my speech, by the end of my speech, you're going to hear how Toastmasters encourages us, to work in teams. It is always good to ask questions and have proper communication. And when working on a project, we should always ask for help. Sometimes we feel bad to ask for help, but it is always good to ask for help. When I spoke with my Vice President Education, she was excited. She wanted to just tell me, Sweeney, just run with it, and wanted me to have the meeting as early as possible. But I told her this meeting has to be well planned because we are going to have lots of speakers and we are going to need lots of evaluators. And because I had to work with a team, I spoke with someone to be the general evaluator, someone to be the Zoom master, and the Zoom master, she had to contact someone to assist her. And the general evaluator had to find people to support her role. So she had to speak to someone as a grammarian, as a timer, and for the longest while, our club never had an accountant. She even got an accountant. I said I would speak with persons to be speakers and evaluators. And this I did. I was ever so grateful when I asked Toastmaster DeMarie, she readily agreed. And what we were speaking about was what can Toastmaster do for you and what it has done for us. Because of the way I communicated with my group, I found it very easy. Not that it was easy, but it was very easy. I gave them information time and time again. And because I regularly communicated, when certain people I had asked who had already agreed could not make it, they informed me right away. And because I was working with a team, I asked them whether they could have someone come in their place. And some people readily agreed. And instead of me trying to find that replacement, that speaker got somebody to replace them. So I found it a very interesting project to complete. When we started that meeting, our meeting started off with a bang. Our speakers spoke on the topic. Nobody strayed away from the topic. And our guests could not believe what they were hearing. After the meeting, one told me, Sweeney, every time I heard about Toastmasters, I thought you all were going to practice to give toast when you're drinking. But now I see it is something different. And we got 2 members after that meeting because some people were just blown away by our speakers. Every time I remember that, I must remember distinguished Toastmaster Raghu because he was one of my speakers at that time, and it is sad to know he has moved on. Overall, for the first time, my home club had 9 speakers and 9 evaluators. This made history for us. And it showed me that working as a team, the words of Helen Keller ring very true. Alone, you can do so little, but together you can do so much. And during this project, I really and truly appreciated the fact that working as a team helps you to move mountains. You communicate with your team, and more than anything else, when you feel stuck, you ask for help. This again brings the quote, the African proverb, which says, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. Madam Toastmaster of the meeting.
was a wonderful. Thank you so much, President Sweeney, for that awesome speech about teamwork. So teamwork makes the dream work. And I really like how you broke down, requesting help from persons on time and really having your dream or your vision come to fruition. And because you had that team effort, it wasn't strenuous, but it was done with ease, and everybody was copacetic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So I'm Miss Madam Timer. I'm requesting 1 minute on the clock for our evaluator to evaluate President Sweeney.
Okay, it's time.
Dr. Nadine, you're muted still.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now I'm calling on I'm not sure if I have this in the right order, but I'm going to go with what I see. So I'm calling on our general evaluator, Cynthia Stott, at this time.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nadine, our wonderful PMOE. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to have the evaluation part. So we give our guest speaker, who did come on the Zoom call, we're going to give him a little chance to prepare. He's going to be speaking for us after the evaluation portion. So I'm going to call up the timer to tell us how long the evaluators have. Please welcome Judith.
Okay, I think I said that, but the evaluation is 3 minutes. And I think I did this at the beginning. We have 2 minutes, this one, green, 2.5 minutes, the daffodils, and 3 minutes are the tulips. And then you have 30 seconds to complete your speech.
Great. And then please raise your hand. Thank you.
I do, it just seems to come off.
Down, yes, it's down again. Okay, so let's welcome our first evaluator. That's Rosemary Sweeney. Take it away, Rosemary.
Let me get the evaluation. Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. Thank you, Toastmaster Alex, for giving me that run through of what I should do when I call 911, because sometimes you are so in a panic. You do not have those steps. You know those steps somewhere in the back of your mind, but you do it anyway. I am not here to evaluate your speech, but how you handle the question and answer. And I must say, you did an amazing job. You were very professional in your behavior, in that you acknowledged some of the disruptors. And not once did you ask someone to please listen and then ask questions. As soon as you got the questions, You answered the questions. You even called on your disruptors to speak. And I found that that way you handled it in a very professional and respectful manner. You use strategies to diffuse, I find. It could have gotten out of hand when someone was asking, but because you kept on answering them and answering, you found that at one time, one of the disruptors was hardly asking any questions because she was just engulfed or wrapped up by what you were saying and how you were answering the other disruptors. When Cassandra's question was answered, you went. Before that, Michelle had asked a question which you were answering, and then Cassandra interrupted, and then you just said, thank you, Cassandra, and you blended the two answers together and just continued with what you were saying. As I said, you were very patient and you listened to their question. You did not continue speaking when they were disrupting. Instead, you were listening to their questions, and you, at one point, you gave a great commendation. You told one, that's a very good question they asked. So I said, wow, we wanted some more disruptors, and you went straight into what you were saying, continuing. You reiterated your point as to what should be done when someone called 911, which was what you wanted to drill into us, ensure that we know when we call 911, what we are going to say, have a plan, right? More than once. You probably went back to that 3 times, and at the end, that was your call to action for us to remember. You at one point when they were asking, you even went into detail, telling me when I call that person on the other line, paint a picture so that they can see in their mind's eye what you are seeing. Don't just call and get all hysterical. I said already, you acknowledge the disruptors. And at one point, your hand was like that, patiently waiting for someone to complete their question. If I was there, maybe I would have told the person, okay, when you get your mind together, could you please raise your hand so that I can acknowledge you? But no, everyone who asked a question, you took time out, you acknowledged them, you answered the question straight away. That did not make you lose focus. You always went back to what you were already speaking of. And you ensured, as I said, that when you spoke, you gave us the information that you came with. So because of your knowledge and what you know about 911, you were giving the answers to the questions, which was not what you came to speak about. And you ensured that what you came to deliver, you delivered, you reiterated it, you finally ended your speech with what you came to deliver. So thank you, Toastmaster Alex.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, President Sweeney, for that evaluation. I think it was on point. So now, oh, I'm sorry. Is it Cynthia? Are you supposed to be calling the evaluators or me?
I call.
Cynthia.
Okay, our next evaluator is Michelle Peticolis. Take it away, Michelle.
Okay, I'm going to take my headset off. Can you hear me, Rosemary? Whoops. Can you hear me? Yes? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes? Okay. Rosemary, you are an amazing speaker and also an amazing team builder. I loved your speech. I love a speech given by an experienced speaker because there is so much I can celebrate about your speech. To start with, the content. The content is valuable to all of us Toastmasters. How to create a great event that attracts more members. And you did that, even though that wasn't the purpose, but there it was. It happened just magnetically. You start your speech, your structure is superb. You start your speech with some information about it being 99 years last year that Toastmasters been in existence. So you gave groundwork for the rest of your speech and explained why it was that you took on this huge project, which involved tons of team members, and how you organized it so that different people took responsibility for themselves and you didn't have to do everything. You did an excellent job of showing that. And then finally, in the end, you showed how everybody worked together and produced the whole event. If I were to suggest a stretch goal, I would invite you to put pauses between what I see as the 3 parts of your speech. The first part is the idea or vision that you had. And you talked about how you spoke to the VP of Education and she wanted to do it right away. And you said, oh no, hold on. We have to do this in a very organized fashion. Great storytelling. Then in the middle, you talk about all the different teams. And that was really helpful for the rest of us who need to build our teams. And you talked about the different teams that you created and how you assigned assignments. And that was very, very helpful to us. Again, this would be in the middle because this is number 2 of your whole speech. And then number 3, you go to the left. So right, middle, and left. And each time you pause so that we have a chance to catch up, and we now, not only have you grounded your speech, but we are recognizing what you're doing. And then finally, and you don't have to be really obvious, you can kind of move and sort of flow into the different places. But that will help us to really understand the structure of the speech. And then the last part is when you deliver the event and you talk about how great it is that you even got new members, because the speech was all about how Toastmasters helps you in your life, how it makes things better. What a great topic. So can we have you come to our Toastmasters Club? That was just amazing. And then finally ending, what great quotes. I loved all the quotes. The Helen Keller quote and the African quote, that was a great ending that pulled everything together about teamwork, which was your real point. It wasn't really about the event. It was about how you create teams. So finally, if you wanted to have a stretch goal, not a stretch goal, a challenge, what I would suggest you do is tell a little bit more of the story of some of the challenges that you might have gone through. It seems like it was seamless, and maybe it was, but hey, we're talking about herding cats. So how did you pull that off? How did you get people to come up with other speakers for you? And did that happen? And was there a time or a moment when you thought, oh my gosh, I don't have my 9 speakers? We would like to know how you handled that with grace and with leadership. This would be helpful for us as we decide to take on a high performance leadership project like that and create a big event that is so successful. So overall, I would say, fabulous speech. You're an excellent speaker. You gave a great topic, introduced it well, had 3 different main points, and you had a great closing with speeches that reminded us about the importance of using teams and not doing it all yourself. And I really appreciated that. Stretch goal, more pauses, especially between the main points. And another stretch goal would be to use the space. This will help you to move around more. And also, you could even say, number 1, planning and the vision. Number 2, that would be planning. And number 3, and then you could actually use your hands and bring it to life. And finally, the challenge would be to tell a little bit more under the hood of the challenges that you went through in terms of putting this together and making it happen and making sure that your team, part of the team, showed up, that your speakers and your evaluators, because I know I'm the VPE of my club and I know how hard it is. And sometimes those people do not show up. So what do you do then? How do you handle that? not only do I do that, I do Toastmaster Time TV, and people are always saying, "Oh my God, I don't want to go all the way to Palo Alto," and they step aside, and then you're like, "Oh my gosh, it's the night before, it's the day."
Wonderful.
And so those stories, that's an opportunity also to put a little bit of humor in it. And I'm really surprised I haven't seen any signs up there from our timer, but I'm sure that I'm way over time. So
thank you. Thank
I
you.
agree. I was just wondering.
Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Awesome. And so without further ado, I'm going to hand it back to our Toastmaster of the day, and she can have Judith give us the timing. I hope Judith's there. Oh, yes, she's on board.
Okay.
Timing for our speaker, and then go right into our speaker.
Okay, Judith.
All right, the timing for the speakers. Alex was 14 minutes and 2 seconds. Rosemary, 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Do you want the evaluation? Actually, Michelle, you should get credit for this because your evaluation was 6 minutes and 30 seconds. You should get credit for the speech and the evaluation. Anyway.
What happened to the timing? I didn't see the timing.
You weren't showing the time.
Can you
Who's showing the time?
Well, you weren't showing the
We
time.
couldn't see the time, Judith. We didn't see the time at all.
Okay.
You didn't see the time?
Can you give us time
No, we didn't see the timing.
Judith, can you please give us the timing for our guest speaker, and then we'll get on with.
Okay.
That was the timing. I did all the timing everywhere. What do you mean you didn't see the timing?
It's not here.
I think what happened, guys, I think what happened was you might have turned your camera off, and for whatever reason, we saw your face and we didn't see the background. But
I didn't
that being said, let's just get on with our main speaker.
Right. Yeah. And you let him know he's 18 minutes at the green, yellow at 18 minutes, and red at 20 minutes. Okay. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, so Judith, could you just give us the timing for our guest speaker?
Okay, so where are we? Jesus, this is crazy. Okay, so 18, what is it? 18, 19, and 20. Okay, so 18 minutes is green, and then 19 minutes is yellow, and 20 minutes is red. And these are the timing, and I don't know why this
and I'm asking if you could keep your hand up so he will be able to see.
I did, but it just comes down all the time.
All right, that's all right. Could you put it back up? Okay. So we have a special guest tonight, as I was saying before. The theme of the meeting is pursuing excellence until excellence is achieved. And when I read the bio for our guest, that's what came to me. And so I, with pleasure, will introduce our guest. So our guest speaker is, our keynote speaker is Dr. John Lau Pang Heng. And please forgive me if I am not pronouncing your name properly.
Nadine, can we ask our speaker to turn on his video so we can see him?
Okay, I'm all right.
On, and so we can spotlight him.
Okay, Dr. John, could you please turn on your video so we could spotlight you? Thank you so much.
Would you mind to make me as a co-host because I have slides to share?
Okay. All right. All right. So our guest speaker, our keynote speaker, his name is Dr. John Lau Pang Heng. Dr. Lau was knighted as commander by His Majesty the King of Malaysia on June 7, 2014. This award carries the title Datuk. Dr. Lau obtained 2 Doctors of Philosophy, that's PhDs, his first in strategic marketing and his second in sociology specifically in the area of criminology. He's currently working toward his third PhD in finance. Dr. Lau has been a member of Toastmasters International since he has completed 11 paths and earned multiple Distinguished Toastmasters Awards, DTMs. When he served as district governor, he led his district to become President's Distinguished and the #1 district in the world. Dr. Lau served as Toastmasters International President in 2012 to 2013. Toastmasters became Toastmasters International when the first club in Canada was established in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada in 1932. In 2014, Dr. Lau was instrumental in Malaysia seamlessly hosting the 83rd Toastmasters International Convention in Kuala Lumpur. This convention was the first held outside of North America. Ever since, Toastmasters International's conventions have been held in alternative years inside of the USA and outside of the US. Dr. Lau was a key influencer in establishing this new tradition. Toastmasters is not just in Dr. Lau's blood, it is all in the family. His son, Jonah, is a member. His wife, Datin Rebecca, is a DTM, and his daughter, Ivy, is a past district director. Dr. Lau is active outside of Toastmasters as well. He swings 5 times a week, loves to golf. Oh, swims, sorry. Swims. He swims 5 times a week, loves to golf and climb mountains, both literally and figuratively. He's an avid reader and a book publisher. He is in the process of authoring his 6th book. Dr. Lau is the Chief Executive Officer and owner of the Acme Group of Companies. Dr. Lau will be speaking about the importance of getting connected with members. Please join me in welcoming Dr. John Lau Pang Heng to share his presentation entitled Getting Connected. Dr. John Lau Pang Heng, Getting Connected, Dr. John Lau Pang Heng.
Thank you very much. What a wonderful introduction. But that introduction was definitely not written by me. Otherwise, it would be very short for me. Thank you. Thank you for the nice words. District 51 was #1 in the world. That was history. The district now, we have 6 districts from the original 51. Good evening all. How are you? Yesterday was Easter Sunday. Today, can we call it Easter Monday? Happy Easter Monday to all. My presentation today will take about 20 minutes. So getting connected. The objective of my presentation, there are 3. #1, to discuss about the needs of getting connected, to share the strategy of staying connected, and to present plans to stay connected. Now, before I begin, I'd like to quote, I think all of you know this distinguished lady, Barbara Bush, who said, cherish your human connections, your relationship with friends and family. When we get connected with one another, we can build excellent relationship with family, with friends, with team member in the workplace. So I treasure her quotation. Human connection is a necessity in our life. So what she said was, let us treasure human connection. Next one. Oprah Winfrey said, the greatest gift of human connection is the ability to share our stories with each other. Yeah, sharing stories. I know when ladies meet, they always talk about their stories. about the family, about the children, about the husband, about the neighbors, about Toastmasters. These are stories. So the greatest gift of human connection. So one of them is human connection to build relationship. The other human connection is ability to share stories with each other. So why do we need to stay connected? Why do we need to stay connected? For example, I'm connected with Rosemary. I'm connected to Cindy Scott. Why we need to get connected? Number one, for emotional support. When we are down or when we are happy, we need somebody to talk to so that we can share the stories. And when we are down, we need to talk to someone so that someone will support us, will understand us, will give us a listening ear. So it is very important to stay connected because we need to seek for emotional support, particularly if our children, they are doing well in school, we stay connected with the children, we applaud the children so that the children will get motivated, will go on to be inspired and go on to achieve better results. Now, the other one, when we start working in a society, what do we need to do? We need to have social interaction, like Toastmasters Club. We all come here in Toastmasters to learn communication and leadership skill. You see, communication is just like a bridge, the San Francisco Bridge, connecting the South Bank to the North Bank through the bridge. And that bridge is a very strong bridge. Of course, in Kuching here, we have a suspension bridge across a wide river, and the suspension bridge collapsed. Similarly, if we use one wrong word, one wrong body language or facial expression, the communication will break down. If we deliver an encouraging, inspiring, motivating speech, it will enable us to get connected with the members. Member will say, wow, this member is very good, helped me a lot. That's the reason why I always remember my mentors. One of them living in District 57, Michael Nataro, past president, and Bob Blackley, the late Bob Blackley, past international president, and the late past director, Gene Smith. So many people in America are my mentors. When I got problem, I reach out to them, they help me. I built a group of network, friends helping friends succeed, as what Joanna McWilliam mentioned. So we need to stay connected to have social interaction. We always say, love your neighbor. But if our neighbor is not at home, do we help to look after the neighbor house? I'm sure all of us did that. Why? Because we love the neighbor. We help to look after our neighborhood so that the neighborhood is safe, secure, and peaceful. That is why I was instrumental to form an association, what I call a community policing association, working with the police and the neighborhood in crime prevention. Those days, crime was very high. The crime rate was 700 per 100,000 people. So we work with the police and the neighborhood because the neighborhood will know as and when a stranger comes in. So what would happen? We call the police come, and we can also arrest the criminal if we see them with my own eyes, and we pass it over to the police. And the crime rate dropped to a low 180 out of 100,000 people. But I still believe that it's a little bit high, but better than 700 per 100,000 people. So we built a group of neighborhood who is keen in building a peaceful place to stay. Like in Toastmaster, we are keen to build our communication skills so that we can get connected with people better. Now, at the end of the day, we need to have purpose. We need to have a goal and objective, a purpose to stay connected. What is the purpose? For example, Rosemary connected with me, invited me for this presentation. Cindy Scott connected with me, sharing with me the timing, reminding me. That was excellent. And unfortunately, I could not come earlier because I got a business appointment at Los Angeles time, 5:45. For your information, the time now here is 9:55 in the morning, Tuesday, April 2nd. So why do we stay connected? We need emotional support, social interaction, and sense of purpose. Now, what are the strategies to get connected? Yeah, that is cool. One, communication is 55% body language, 38% our vocal, and 7% what we say. I study sociology with specific emphasis on criminology. So I learned through my academic field how to read a person like I read a book. How could I differentiate various vocal and eye contact, facial expression, posture of a person? This is to identify potential criminals because my emphasis was on crime. So for example, today the club president said, let's have a meeting, let's have a guest night, let us do it tonight. Wonderful. That is communication, getting connected to inspire the audience, to motivate the audience through an organized short conversation. A short conversation needs to have an intro, the body, and a conclusion. And whatever we do, we need to have an objective. Well, the other strategy is to spend quality times. Now, when I spend time with my friends or my family, our topic was always how to do better the next time. So family quality time, family friendship time, quality team members time. Now, one of the problems of we human beings is we like to talk a lot. But God gave us 2 ears, 1 mouth, 2 eyes. So God say, listen twice, see 2 times, smell once before we speak once. So active listening is listening. A Toastmaster, I'm so proud of being a Toastmaster because I listen, a great listener. I remember one time I called someone and spoke to a friend across the Pacific Ocean. She was talking to me, her story for 25 minutes. And when it was my time to talk, I said, thank you very much for sharing your story. Would you mind to give her a chance to do better the next time? She said yes. So can we solve this problem? She said yes. So after I listened to her grievances, frustration, complaint, finally, in 1 minute, we found a solution. Active listening, very important. The other one is to express gratitude. For example, Murat Madison elected as international president. I sent a message to her congratulating her because I knew Murat Madison very well. She was district director when I was international president, and she was president distinguished and #1 district director in the world. So we have that special working relationship. Bob Blackley, when I was elected as the third vice president in the year 2009, I expressed my greatest gratitude to him for grooming, for shaping me to where I was in 2009. So expressing gratitude, we also need to have an introduction, body, and conclusion. And the other one is offering help. I'm sorry for that mix up in the spelling. Offering help. When we help someone, when we coach someone, when we mentor someone, we help someone. The other day, Cindy sent to me her winning evaluation speech as District 57. I learned, and I joined the contest, and I won as well because of Cindy. Cindy helped me. I learned and follow her same model. I did that evaluation. Strategy to resolve conflict, particularly so nowadays, too many conflicts around the world. Conflicts between big countries, conflict between small countries, conflict between cities, conflict between different races, conflict in our family, conflict in the workplace, conflict among friends. How do we solve it? A soft, low-tone voice will help to solve many problems through active listening. Like in an evaluation, we always express gratitude. We always say, congratulations for an excellent speech. Then we offer some one or two advice for the speaker to take home when he or she is doing it the next time. That will be adapting to change. Change is very painful, particularly in Kuching here. In Kuching, the city where I live in Malaysia, still a lot of people have differences of doing the pathway because we spend too long time doing the basic communication and leadership manual. So they always come sick in my office. I have to listen. At the end of the day, I said, pathway, it is a competency-based training. You start with the basic elementary level to the intermediate level to advanced level to an expert level and to a specialist level. That's why we got 5 levels. So adapting to change is very difficult. But if we make a decision, make the first step, soon we will be a better communicator and this world will be a better place. Everybody know him, Robin Sharma. The business of business is relationship. The business of life is human connection. So the business of business is building relationship. A businessman seldom scream and shout at the customer. We always very cool, very calm, talking to people. And the business of life is human connection. If we are connected, we got so many friends from around the world. When I was international president, believe it or not, I share with you the fact I receive 2,000 emails every day. I have to reply everybody before I go to bed for that day because I treasure the members sharing. I treasure listening to the members' problem so that we can bring it to the board to find a solution. So the business of business is relationship. The business of life is human connection. Now, what shall we do? This is the plan. In Toastmasters, we have the pathways, education and training. We go to various paths. effective business communication, coaching, mentoring, motivational strategy. I can't remember all the pathway, but these are a few of them. So we pick one of those if we want to improve in that area. If we want to move to a next higher competency level, we pick the level that we choose so that our communication skill will be sharpened, will be more polished after that. Community engagement. We can reach out to the community. How shall we do? Reach out to the community distributing leaflets, inviting members to come, to join our online meeting, to join our physical meeting, to join our speech contest, to join our social event. We reach out to the community engagement. Recently, I helped two good friends who were in great conflicts, fighting. They sent one legal letter after the other until I come to notice. I call one of them. I say, hey, brother, can I help you to solve this? Can you give me his phone number? He gave me the phone number. I called a friend and we found an amicable solution. Now we move forward as friends, very peaceful. We can apply our communication skill that we learned in Toastmasters to the community. Workplace initiative. We can invite our colleagues. Yeah, this is the delivering in the old syllabus, speech number 10 of basic communication and leadership manual, inspire your audience. How we can inspire Peter to join a meeting? How can I inspire Thomas to come and to join a Toastmaster meeting and to learn how to communicate better? Next one, volunteer and social engagement. Like today, when Rosemary asked me to share something, I say, yes, I volunteer and to get involved to share my thoughts with my friends in California. So volunteer and social engagement, like during the MCO time, I knew some of those people who need help. We always bring food to them to help them. So we always reach out. Workplace initiative, as I said earlier, we can conduct a Toastmaster mini exhibition in a workplace. We can do a mini exhibition in a community center. We can do a mini exhibition in a social group. So workplace initiative, we can do a lot of things. So I would say education in Toastmaster, use our skill in community development, workplace, and volunteer and social engagement. That workplace engagement, the final workplace engagement is not a repetition, but I put it there because we can display some leaflets in the office, display some leaflet in the community, in the in a non-government organization. Melinda Gates, the former wife of Bill Gates, said, deep human communication is the purpose and the result of the meaningful life. And it will inspire the most amazing acts of love, generosity, and humanity. I love this quotation. I like to read it one more time. Deep human connection is the purpose and the result of a meaningful life. It will inspire the most amazing acts of love, generosity, and humanity. In conclusion, I would like to conclude with this. Getting connected is to build energy among members, families, and community. When they feel they are seen, when they feel that they are heard, when they feel they are valued, treasured. So that's the three key words. Building energy so that our friends, our family member, our colleagues, our fellow Toastmaster felt that they are seen, they are heard, and they are valued and treasured by all of us. When they can give and receive without judgment, and we derive the strength for staying connected with our friends, our family, our team members in the workplace, our Toastmaster friend from around the world. So, fellow Toastmaster, I wish you all the best. Stay connected all the time, and I will see you the next time, maybe in Anaheim. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Dr. John Lau. What an excellent, excellent speech you gave. I learned so much and I was taking notes. Thank you so much. Let's see. Just a second here. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's happening, but I'm not able to. All right, let me just do it on my phone. I'm not able to see my agenda anymore.
It goes back to the president.
Okay, all right.
President
All right.
Sweeney.
I'm going to turn this over to President Sweeney. But before I do, Dr. Lau, I do have a question, and I know it's not question in time, but my question for you is, when you brought Toastmasters to Malaysia, was that your DTM project, or was that your DTM when your DTM? And you don't have to answer that now. I will
No,
give
I
you.
can answer you now.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I was not the one who brought Toastmaster to Malaysia. The one who brought Toastmaster to Malaysia, that was in 1979 by the late, I call him Papa Gerald Green.
Okay.
He brought Toastmaster. He went over to see, oh, I forgot the name of the executive director. Is it McCain or something like that? I can't remember. And then he allowed him to set up a Toastmaster club here. So he was the one instrumental.
Okay, so what I'm actually talking about is the conference. I'm sorry, I should have.
Oh no, conference was the decision of the board of directors, not me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so
The
much.
board of directors make the decision to have the conference outside United States, and they decided when we voted, there were a few cities to vote on, and apparently Kuala Lumpur have the most vote.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Don't say it was brought over by me. It was that during the decision-making process, I was a member of the board.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm happy to hear that, and I'm happy to see your achievements. Our theme was based on your achievements, pursuing excellence until it's achieved. And so now I turn it over to our President Sweeney.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nadine. Let us give a round of applause. And thank you to our guest speaker for making it happen, our keynote speaker, Dr. John. Thank you for all that information on us remaining connected and the importance of being connected. At this time, before our meeting is ended, we still have some guests, and we say one member is our family, so we are going to call the other lady Toastmaster Huang. Can you tell us what you think of our meeting?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me here in this meeting today. That's wonderful to learn and to know more from you. Amazing and wonderful speakers today. I have learned and gained a lot of knowledge about 911, how to call them in a proper way, and also working in a team if you want to go fast. Go alone and If you want to go far, go together. Oh my God, that's so much knowledge. And also the last keynote speaker as well, amazing. I really admired his persistence about his journey, his dedication, devotion as well. So thank you so much. It's so touching and inspiring me, and hopefully I will be joining a lot of interesting and wonderful meetings like this. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And do come again. We love having guests and visitors, and we also love them to upgrade to being our fellow members. So we need you to just come. Don't feel any pressure. You join when you're ready. And I don't want to, Kada, can you tell us what you think of our meeting, if you're able to respond? I'm probably at work. Okay, so Toastmaster Judith, can you?
Yes, I just have a question. And they have some functionary report like grammarians or some of my timing report. Just wondered about that. Anyway, so sorry if I screwed up in one timing. I don't know what happened. But anyway, so it was really great. It's always nice to see and hear Dr. Lau. So thank you.
And thank you for reminding us. We haven't heard the. Did we hear the grammarian?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that was before. That was before our guest keynote speaker spoke. And
Thank you,
so-
Rosemary.
Okay then.
What a beautiful meeting with everyone was completely persistent to get clear communication as to how we could succeed better with more of us cooperating with each other. And it's a joy to hear. A few ums, Judith, one Nadine, one but three persistence. I think the beautiful evaluation here of all these awarenesses of where we need to be to grow and change and include each other around the world is the happiest part of my day, is to see you all. Thank you. And excellent words, excellent confidences and deliveries. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So Judith, can you give us your report?
Okay, I think I did the let's see. Anyway, Dr. Lau's speech was 22 minutes and 35 seconds. Michelle evaluation was six minutes and 30 seconds. Apparently she didn't see that. And Rosemary, your evaluation was 4 minutes and 8 seconds. Lots of things people have to say. And I think that's basically it of my report. I already said about the speeches. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Dr. John, do you have any additional words for us before we end our meeting?
Thank you very much for the wonderful meeting, Rosemary. I wish I can join your meeting. I really enjoy the speeches and evaluation at your club. And I ask for permission to leave earlier as I have 2 guests waiting for me right in my office now, because it is 10:19 Malaysia time. Thank you so much. May God bless you. Have a wonderful Easter holiday.
And thanks for coming. Okay, so at this